That matters not me. Dude, no one's. Hello?
There you go.
Okay, guys. I think what I want to do here first is start with the facts. Our server went down today, just before 1 p.m. Central Time, our normal restart. And it has been down ever since. The facts of the matter are that our server provider gave notice at around an hour or two after this point, in which they said that, number one, that they were moving data centers and had disagreements of some sort with their provider, with their data center provider, and that they were migrating all of our boxes, everything. Our provider is Tempest, which is owned or is a subsidiary of Path. These are just the facts, okay? So those are the facts. So all day, we have been basically hearing all sorts of rumors and conjecture that started around, I'd say, 3 or 4 p.m. Central after everything started, over the status of Path or Tempest or both. Then after that point, I had made a statement that our provider was Path or Tempest. We had had an extreme amount of issues with them. Yeah, a bunch of issues with them with Redm that people will remember, but we never had any major issues with 5M to that point. So we started to then get from other server owners and former staff of Tempest and Path that started to say things to us that implied some sort of degradation in the business, right? And a lot of things that were implying that there were a little more than disagreements. There was missed payments or whatnot. These were all the things we were told. I can't say that these things are true or not because I don't know. What I know is that we have a lot of people coming to us and telling us a lot of different stories, and a lot of them are saying the same things. Who knows? To be fair, what the truth is. I think the reality of the situation, however, is that we were being told that there was a chance that we could get things back at some point, but throughout the night and as we talked to more people that were more connected with the situation, we realized that we would not be able to recover our box, which meant that we were waiting for this to wrap itself out. But based on the things we were hearing earlier in the day, we were looking at other options. And a lot of people, I want to say, have been really helpful. Other server owners, people who own server hosting companies, they have all reached out to try and help us. And I'm super, super proud of the 5M community because you hear so many horror stories about the way people treat each other, praying for each other's downfall and stuff. But honest to God, we had so many people reaching out to help. Like it was overwhelming. It was cool to see, actually, that people actually give a shit, and didn't want to see Prodigy like fall, because of something stupid that was outside of our control. The reality is, guys, and I don't want to sugarcoat this at all, is that our data for like the server, in terms of like your data for this wipe, right now it's gone. As far as we're concerned, there's 70 to 80% chance that is gone. And if we are able to recover it, it could be days. It could be a week. I don't know. And that's the most honest answer I can give you. I don't know. The truth is, we got done dirty. Very dirty here with this. And I can't speak for the honesty of how the communication happened or whatnot. All I can tell you is that the experience that we've had today was extremely unprofessional. Just based on the messaging that went out, the lack thereof, and just the accountability and honesty. Staff members reaching out to us and saying the things they did. I mean, like on those things alone, all I can tell you is from a consumer perspective is that it was bad. It was unprofessional. It was not okay. Um, so regardless of if the things we heard were true or if people were just engaging in conjecture and rumor mongering, the experience we had was not very good. And still not good because we're still without answers. You can't even log into their website. There's something seriously wrong. This does not happen. So this sucks, to be honest. However, when you think about it, maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Because stuff started to go to shit in November and December, and we started working right now on making systems that were RP centric, that were pushing the vision that we wanted to have as a server. And in a way, maybe this is actually good. Maybe this is actually a good thing. Maybe this is a thing where with these changes we've made and we have in the pipe to push, this might be the best thing for us. Honestly, this might be a good thing. We have a bunch of houses ready to push to fill up the rest of Vespucci. We just hired on new interior guys to do the rest of the stuff in Chumash. We have a large portion of Sandy ready to go for housing. We have a new heist we're ready to push today, actually, which is kind of funny. We had a brand new heist ready to go today. We have ATC that was well underway. We had all the business changes done. We had cocaine well under the way. Like, we had a lot of really good systems. And to be honest, this allows us to just hit the reset button and actually put the focus on roleplay. It allows me and the devs to take the next tiny bit and fix this shit. And get it right and get it more RP centric than it was. And so we can focus on actually role playing on the server instead of whatever the hell else was going down. So in a way, at first, I felt despair. And then as I thought down and I started thinking about it, this is actually probably the best thing. To be honest, this is the best thing that could happen. Honestly, in a way, this is great. Because we can sit the fucking reset and that we can give people who see that we're shifting to being better with roleplay and trying to push that and pushing that heavier. But maybe they come and give us a shot. Because it's not so late into a wipe. And that's the good pieces. Though I admit that it sucks for people who like grind it up and we're establishing themselves. Yeah, I do. What I will do is I'll tell you the things that we're gonna do and make sure that are hitting from the top. Is number one, Kane Anderson is fucking Mir. Number one. We have a council. Number one. We're not gonna revert that stuff. We're not gonna try to run it back and restart it. Hell no. We're not doing that shit. Number two. We're going to take the businesses that were running amazing. We're doing good. We're doing the role play. We're doing the right things. They're in. They're still going. They're good. And now we're going to take the time to take consideration from people over the next days, from people who want to put role play into these things. People who want to come in and show us without a doubt they are here to create role play for the server, not just for themselves, and to run these businesses the right way so that we can fix our mistakes there. So we can get that shit done. I just had a conversation with the admins and I told them we need to fix this shit. This is an opportunity to fix things the right way for the server and put 2 feet on the ground and start running because we started to slow down and there's no point in continuing on like we were doing. We need to use this to fix shit. I've assigned staff to look at the entire rule set and to plug the things that people have told us that they think we're missing. To put in rules that make it clearer for people to understand so that we can make sure that when we go towards this, that everyone is equipped and know what the standard is from day one. And make sure there's doctors in the city, staffing the city, so that we can make sure that this shit is good. So that we aren't running to catch our own tail. Because that's what it was starting to turn into. Going away, this is okay. It sucks, but it's okay. It's okay because we have an awesome fucking community. You guys are sick. You know, I know we're going to make good stories. We're going to do cool fucking shit. And we're going to keep making Prodigy awesome. And you guys have always been awesome. And nothing's ever going to change there because the way I see it, a community isn't a couple lines in a fucking sequel table. A community is the people that come up and show up and try to make it something special. And while I was sad at first, I came to the fact that you guys, I knew you guys were going to understand. We all got fucked here. I'm not going to lie. It was bad. It sucked this sucks, you know, in the way that like, yeah, okay. We all got fucked over. Not everyone, you know, like it wasn't just one person. It was everyone with this. And when I started to come to terms with that, I realized that you guys were going to be okay with it. And I can see by the chat that you guys are. And honest to God, guys, I'm very thankful. Because, you know, it's worrying. I'm not going to lie. It's worrying to come out and have to tell a bunch of people that you let them down. And while it wasn't just me, you know, that it's not like I did something, but I still feel like we let you down. So, but let's get this shit right. Let's get this shit right. Bite, do you have anything?
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to add was this is a massive hit to the gaming community at large. There's some pretty big games outside of GTA even that are affected by this. So we're not the only ones. I mean, AAA titles are being taken down because this service went down. So just keep that in mind too.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can just search the internet right now, Path and Tempest, and servers going down, and you can see every rumor that I've even hinted at. You know, like it's all over the place. Someone made like a legitimate comment of like what happened to backups. Well, when when you're buying from subsidiaries, which the people who know the way 5M works in the simplest terms and the way sophisticated attacks happen on a server are very few, right? And Path was like, they were like the one of the most common places. And you'll see a lot of other 5M servers are going through the same thing we're going through right now. Like it's not just us. Like this, something I want to highlight is this affects a large portion of the 5M community, and a lot of other communities are going to need a lot of grace right now because they also are in the same situation we are. And that sucks.
Yeah. Also, like in terms of backups, this isn't like one data center shut down. This is the entire network. So multiple data centers in multiple countries are all shut down at this point, as far as we can tell. Obviously, we've received very limited communication from them, and we don't want to sit here and speculate on why they are or aren't, because obviously it's not our place.
Listen, I've talked to huge real estate developers. I've talked to people who run game servers in the AAA game companies. I've talked to people who run enterprise level solutions that are at a heavy scale that are in the exact same situation we are right now. So that's just the reality. The other thing you have to understand is like Path had resellers that were subsidiaries that, you know, a lot of people don't even know that were owned by Path also. So they're also affected. It's not just Tempest that's owned by Path, but there's many others as well. So you'll hear it and people won't understand it, but yeah.
So I saw a question in chat that I just want to address. It was about Redm and whether or not Redm is affected. In terms of Redm's data and general stability, is we actually branched out for Redm and it was not hosted under this network. So it is affected slightly in the sense that we still use some of the protections from it, but the data and actual server itself is on a completely different provider. And this was kind of our redundancy, right? Is we didn't want to put all our eggs in one basket, which is why Redm was separated from the 5M stuff. Um, Obviously, we're grateful for that.
Yeah, I'd feel pretty bad for for Redm if they got caught up in this, like, because they just wiped, honestly, and we just were having conversation. Some people in Redm maybe are still have expected an update from me, and as you can see, I was very busy, and this is why I haven't been able to give a correct answer over there yet. But yeah, listen, I think this is good overall. I think me and Smashny and Miatek, we are energized. Miatek will laugh because he's out of Red Bull, or not laugh or yell at me. But like, we're energized to get in and like get things changed up. It won't be the same path to get to PDM. It won't be the same path to get to these things. We'll make them a little bit different. We'll make the crafting path different. We'll do things to make it different. So
There's some questions about prios and general access. Luckily, again, we separate our entire infrastructure out into multiple pieces across different providers. The only thing that was affected by this directly was the actual game servers themselves for 5M. So your actual prio is part of the website, which is separate. So that is all fine, still there. We still have all that. So you don't have to worry about losing your prio or anything like that. In terms of your game data, that is what we have lost access to.
yeah, we haven't lost access to people's priors. You still have that. You still have that. So you should be good. You guys are talking like we're going to be down for a week. We have no intentions of being down a week. We currently have an intention of reopening the server on Monday. That's our current plan. We debated doing a lot of different things, but we decided it's better to actually make changes that are good with the actual gameplay flow instead of just relaunching a Prodigy 2.0 in the same exact skin and just letting people rerun it. So that's our current plan. So
yeah, in terms of like skins, assets, anything that was essentially there that's not like data that is generated by characters playing the game, that's all still exists. We have all of that. That's all gonna go live on Monday. Again, the only thing you've lost in this sense is the actual economy values, your characters. So that's what you'll be recreating, just to clarify.
Yep. People are asking about prios. I have no ability to pause that, guys, and Tabix gives me no mindful way to do that at all. Like, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, I can look into it, but I literally can't make any promises there, like, at all. I have no tools at my disposal to do anything with that. Like, Tabix is not that intuitive when it comes to things like that, unfortunately. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's an unfortunate. I am tied to using Tabix, and I have no choice. that's the reality of it, is that we have to use Tabix and we have to work with them and we have to figure out how to fix when things like this happen. So, I mean, I will talk to Tabix and I will try to figure it out to see if there is a solution, but I am at their mercy, unfortunately. The path is not providing us with anything. They're completely non-responsive. You can't even get to their support portals. Completely unresponsive.
Yeah, the subsidiary that we were renting our machines through, their website's completely offline. Path, the parent company that owns that company, their support portals are down. They're not responding to emails. This is, like I said, a massive outage in terms, if you look at it that way. But
yeah, I have no plans for memory wipe at the moment. I mean, this is all fresh, guys. We tried to get through as many of the topics as we could, but I think that would kind of suck for the majority of people. But there may be we might talk about a time lapse. We might talk about trying to reset conflicts. We might talk about a lot of different things. I don't know yet, to be honest. you have to just, I'm just asking for a little bit of grace on this because I have not had the time or the ability to think about the majority of these things. Um, it's only been like, it's been an hour since we knew that we would probably have to do this, and I tried to get the information to the community as soon as I could because that was important to me. I don't want to lie to the community. That's just the way it is. Like, all of this is me not wanting to lie to you. So just the honesty about Tebex, the honesty about, you know, trying to get you an answer on the fact that we didn't think we were going to be able to, I could have waited till tomorrow and been like, let's wait on the 25%. Maybe we get the data back. But that's such a low percentage that it would be completely unfair to everyone that's waiting to play on the server and to make stories and to make content to hold you up in that way. It would be completely dishonest. And I'm not about that. So the most important thing for me was to make a decision and tell you guys as soon as possible. And that's what we've done. I'm not here to lie to you.
As far as the Tebex subscriptions and stuff go, again, we can't make any promises. We'll try and see if we can figure out a way to make something work. Again, no promises that we can do anything, but obviously we have the community's interests at heart, right? So
yeah, this only runs on the community. So like, that's just the way it is. Like it is what it is, folks. It is what it is.